Hi, my name is 𝗟𝗵𝘀𝘁 and I am the author of the Age of Bipeds book series. I'm super excited about this world, about the world building I've done, about the universe of Age of Bipeds and where it's going, and I'm excited to talk to you a little bit about it. So the first book is called 𝗟𝗏. So typically you say AGI or ASI. However, in the future, ASI got switched around to become SAI, super artificial intelligence. So you have psi this, psi that. And so a 𝗟𝗏 is when a super artificial intelligence encrypts its handiwork. So psis are responsible for doing a lot of things in the future, and whenever they do something, it's possible for them to encrypt it in such a way that it's impossible to change it, which is kind of the thesis of the whole book, which is about basically cat and dog people, but cat and dog people that come about in a realistic way. A big thing in the book is the bipedal event of 2065. That was the year that mankind first unlocked super artificial intelligence, and then basically a forum of furries, they got a hold of the technology early on, and they're like, I'm making myself a dog girlfriend and a cat boyfriend and all this. And so just something that would, just seems so kind of arbitrary. It was like a tiny example of just how the tiniest thing like that could explode open a massive can of worms onto human society. At this point in Earth's history, like, we've colonized several planets. We have an influence of about 20 light years in all directions. So multiple star systems, multiple planets, and then ungodly amounts of space junk, or not junk necessarily, but just architecture and things, in the abyss of space. So there's lots to explore. So Winston is exploring all the time, and he discovers Grant, who is what we call in the universe of Age of Bipeds a frozo. So a frozo becomes slang for someone who has been cryogenically frozen and unthawed. So these are, most of the time, they're treated like tourists, basically, because they're like bright-eyed and curious and like, oh, what is this crazy new future world that I find myself in? So he discovers this frozo, Grant, who was a programmer from New York from the 2030s. And so it's kind of like a buddy adventure between them. But then I would say it also gets like action-filled and dramatic and serious. All right, so who am I? A little bit about myself. I'm huge into science fiction, into fantasy, medieval stuff. I'm also really big into sci-fi series. I love 𝗟𝗏, and I love 𝗟𝗏, 𝗟𝗏𝗃𝗃. The first 3 seasons anyway. I mostly love creating. I'm an artist, an animator, a musician. I think the through line of all those things is storytelling. And I've always dabbled in writing, and when I was younger I tried to write some novels, and I think the farthest I ever got was like 60 pages. But storytelling, whether that's through music or animation or making games or creating graphic novels or whatever, has always been like core to my soul. Like, I don't know, there's just something deeply fulfilling and necessary about it to me. So that's a little bit about myself. I'm on Twitter at 𝗟𝗵𝘀𝘁. Guess that's all I've got to say. Go check out my book, Age of Bipeds, 𝗟𝗏.